Hi guys! In case you missed the previous video where we modeled this stylized bridge, don't worry, I've linked it in the description below. Go check it out first if you want to follow the complete workflow. Now let's jump into the fun part, texturing. First, import the mesh into Substance Painter. And while baking, make sure to select the high poly mesh as well. Then hit that bake button. Now we wait and pretend Substance Painter isn't secretly stress testing our PC. One important thing I did before baking, I moved the wooden planks slightly upward. This helps avoid baking intersections and unwanted artifacts. Tiny adjustment. Huge headache avoided. After baking, we'll import the actual mesh back. And now we're ready to start texturing. Let's begin with the rock area. Add a stone material. Apply it to the rocks using a black mask. Then use polygon fill to quickly select the parts where you want the texture. Super easy. The default scale looks a little too large for me, so let's adjust the scale. Much better. Always remember, a great texture at the wrong scale still looks wrong. Now let's work on the grass. The process is pretty similar. Apply the base color, add some dirt variation, maybe make certain areas slightly brighter, some slightly darker, because perfectly uniform grass usually looks fake, and nature loves randomness. Okay, at this point, the bridge is already starting to feel alive. But we're not done yet. Let's move on to the wood. For the wooden planks, add a wood texture, apply it only to the wooden areas. Adjust the rotation, adjust the scale, and tweak the colors until it feels right. Sometimes I rotate the wood grain several times before deciding, and then I go back to the first one anyway. Tell me I'm not the only one. To make things more interesting, add some color variation. A little roughness variation, maybe slightly different tones between planks. This helps break repetition and makes everything look more believable. Now for my favorite part, the rope. Oh yeah. Creating a rope texture is actually easier than it looks. Start with a fill layer, choose the base rope color, then duplicate the layer. Add a black mask, inside the mask add a fill effect and select a stripe texture. Adjust the rotation, increase the stripe count, play with the scale, and suddenly, it's already looking like rope. To make it softer and more natural, add a blur filter. Then add a bevel filter, adjust the settings until you're happy. And boom, we have a stylized rope texture. No hand painting, no complicated setup, just a few layers and some smart adjustments. At this point, I spent some time tweaking colors, adjusting roughness, adding subtle variations, and making sure all materials work nicely together. This part is mostly experimenting, so don't be afraid to try different values. There is no single correct way to texture stylized assets. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the texturing process. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye!